Hey folks! So today we're going to actually be talking about some more makeup brands that have, I don't want to say bit the bullet, but have filed for bankruptcy, that have shown signs of discontinuation, and brands that are just knocking on heaven's door. Because I've seen some trends with drugstore products and drugstore makeup and low-end and high-end makeup that I find very interesting. It got me thinking, and there's a lot of things happening in the makeup community right now that has got me thinking, because there's some stuff happening on TikTok right now that like we will talk about in a separate video, but just you wait, history is repeating itself. But today I wanted to talk about Rimmel and Revlon, two very prominent drugstore makeup brands. And I saw recently that actually last year Rimmel filed for bankruptcy and Revlon did as well. And there were some new developments that happened last month that really got me thinking about kind of what the place of drugstore makeup is in the makeup community and in the makeup industry for the future. Kind of where does that sit? Where does it sit among brands like ColourPop and BH Cosmetics that are still pretty affordable, but also like doing things a little bit more trendy, doing things a little bit more up to date, and doing things more often. But before we actually jump into that, I would like to say that today's video is sponsored by Brooklinen. So let's hop over to ad roll Abigail, showing you some brand new bedding that I got that I'm pretty excited about. Welcome to my bedroom. We're gonna be unboxing some Brooklinen sheets and bedding sets. So come along with me on this journey of making my bed. So everything came in this lovely box, which we open up. Oh my God, look, there's stuff. We have a duvet, we got some pillowcases, and the core sheet set. So let's get started. What I'm really excited about with Brooklinen is that they're really, really soft, but they're not such a high thread count to where it gets really warm. Because a lot of times when you get stuff that's really high thread count, you get stuff that you overheat with, and especially during the summertime, it's really difficult for us to sleep because he is a human furnace. Isn't this a fun angle? Just like your favorite vintage tee, these pillowcases get better with wear. Ooh. And I chose the graphite color, this color right here, because I actually have a weighted blanket that is the same color. So I figured we can match. It works with anything. If we want to get some other sheets in other colors, we can mix and match. And gray goes with literally everything. I'll definitely be putting it through one load in the wash just because I have really, really sensitive skin and I always wash things before I wear them, or in this case, put it on my bed. So I will be sending them through one cycle in the washer and dryer before I actually make my bed. But I really like the fabric. The fabric's really nice. We don't even have a duvet cover, so this will be useful. I feel like a grown-up with a nice mattress and some nice sheets. So here's the duvet cover. And we have a big adult bed. We have a king-size bed, so we got a king-size set. And now last but not least, the core sheet set. Let's open this bad boy up. So the core sheet set does come with a fitted and a flat sheet. So you get all of the pieces of your bedding in one set. And actually, if you get the hardcore set, if you get the bundle, you're saving money rather than if you're buying the items individually. So if you're somebody who's thinking, oh, maybe I only need some sheets and a duvet, why not just get the pillowcases to match, because you're gonna end up saving money anyway. One of the rites of passage, I feel like, when becoming an adult and getting your own place is having a bed that feels like your bed. And that also includes like having sheets that feel like your sheets. All right, y'all, let's go do some laundry. Click the link below to buy yourself some Brooklinen sheets, and be sure to use the promo code ABBYW at checkout to save $20 off any order over $100. Are you still on the fence? Brooklinen has over 100,000 5-star reviews. That's more than any other online bedding company. Plus, they offer a 365-day warranty if you're not absolutely happy with your purchase. So click the link below and use my code ABBYW to get some wonderful sheets. Seriously, bedding is actually very important in our household, because I may be a very easy sleeper, but my other half is not the easiest sleeper. Thanks Brooklinen so much for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to the makeup brand shenanigans. How you like it?
I like it.
Good. So I saw this article actually on Twitter the other day, and it's a little bit of an outdated article. I admit I do not keep up with makeup news as much as I used to. I do not keep up with all of the newest things. Partially, I think, is because a lot of that is happening on TikTok, and I'm not really on makeup TikTok. So I'm a little bit out of the loop sometimes. Literally, I ask people, like, send me makeup TikToks to see what the heck that's about. And, oh baby, did I get that for another video. That's going to need a little bit more planning and editing and time. But I saw this article last month talking about Revlon and their kind of dealings with their recent bankruptcy filing. But on top of that, Rimmel also recently filed for bankruptcy, and it's kind of on its way out. A lot of people have been noticing that they've been discontinuing products, that things are not being restocked on the shelves as much. Sometimes with makeup brands and brands in general, companies filing for bankruptcy, that doesn't necessarily mean that like they are not a company anymore. It just means that they have to basically have somebody else buy them out, or else they kind of risk going bye-bye. Revlon did say that it was exploring the sale of the company as a potential like out for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is basically what I had said before, where brands will have another bigger company or another company just buy them out. So Revlon did actually file for bankruptcy in June, saying, and I quote, "Its $3.5 billion debt load left it too cash poor to make timely payments to critical vendors in its cosmetic supply chain." $3.5 billion in debt. That is a wild number. So Revlon isn't the oldest makeup brand, but it has been around for almost an entire century, which is so wild to me to think about. Think about makeup being around for almost 100 years, a brand to exist for almost 100 years, which makes this kind of sad, seeing a kind of an old guard makeup brand, an old guard drugstore brand, falling out of popularity and falling out of its stride so much to where they could see an end to the brand. I'm a huge fan of history. I'm a huge fan of nostalgia. I'm a huge fan of makeup and beauty and trend history. Oh, I love looking at it. It's so fascinating. But Revlon, I think, is a prime example of how a brand that once had such a stranglehold, it was such a pillar of the affordable makeup world, that competition really did hurt it. And competition, I think, has been hurting a lot of these old brands. I feel like Maybelline and L'Oreal have kind of lost a little bit of their luster. I feel like CoverGirl was probably bound to kind of hit this same fate if they hadn't have done that huge restructuring, huge rebranding, completely cruelty-free. If they hadn't completely changed things a few years back, I feel like CoverGirl would be where Revlon is right now. But CoverGirl took the smart approach and realized, oh, we actually have to like change things up. We actually have to like do things that are kind of cool and interesting, or else people aren't going to care about us anymore. Because I don't know about you, but I don't remember the last thing I saw from Revlon new at all. Whenever I go to the drugstore, I'm usually just there to pick up like ointment or makeup wipes or deodorant or toothpaste or decongestant if Josh and I are feeling sick. But I'll walk by the makeup aisle and I will see all of these very empty shelves, all of these very sad, very dated shelves that have looked the same since I can remember, to be honest. I do not remember makeup shelves really changing that much. They got more crowded as the years went by. Definitely more crowded. You have a lot more brands like e.l.f. You have NYX. We didn't really have NYX much on the shelves in the drugstore when I was a kid. Essence. You have Flower Beauty. You have Soap and Glory. You have all of these other drugstore brands that are taking up space and doing things that are new and cool. Because of the rise of social media and the rise of so many more affordable brands like your ColourPops, like your Juvia's Place, like e.l.f., like Flower Beauty, you can find them a lot of places, and it just becomes easier and easier to pass by these old brands that are really not changing much of anything as far as the packaging, as far as the actual products. I remember seeing one of those little like quads, you know, the like cream shadow things that like we all probably used when we were 15. At least when I was 15, when we didn't have like really good makeup videos to follow for tutorials. We just had like frosty blue cream eyeshadow that we would just rub on our eyes from Revlon. Wasn't that a thing that we all did in the early 2000s? Or is it That's a thing. But they still have that stuff. I really don't even know what new things Revlon has. You don't see Makeup Instagram talking about Revlon. You don't see Makeup Instagram talking about Rimmel. You really don't see makeup social media touching a lot of mainstream drugstore brands. And for the longest time, I think those drugstore brands were able to still make some money because you had a lot of people who were not keeping up with the newest makeup releases, that were not shopping at Sephora, that were not following Instagram makeup accounts. They were just getting their makeup from the drugstore. And now, because of the accessibility of having things able to buy online, having more options for more skin tones, for more skin types, just for different needs, and having so much of that so accessible now has made the kind of mainstay pillar drugstore makeup brands not be able to keep up, because they really didn't have to rely on that for the longest time, because they were like, oh, well, people are just going to come buy our makeup anyway because they're coming to the drugstore. Now that makeup internet has spread so much because of things like TikTok and because of things like Instagram, it's made it a lot harder for these brands to keep up and to actually be successful. Because why would you buy this when you can buy this? Why would you buy this thing that's the same when you can try this new shiny thing? But the other thing that I feel like probably hurt Revlon and L'Oreal not as much, because I think they've still been able to like keep up with new things. They're still getting products talked about, specifically a mascara right now. Because so many of these brands focus their advertising on TV commercials and magazines, people don't read magazines anymore. I mean, people do still read magazines, but the majority of people, if they're wanting to read like magazine content, they're going to go for it online. The same thing with advertisements. Like, you still have pre-roll ads on YouTube and stuff, and you'll get ads on like news sites and things that have to run ads to like actually make money, but you're not reading magazines. You're not watching the commercials on TV. You're not watching cable the same way that you used to, that you had to sit through an Almay commercial or like herbal essences. Like we have kind of lost the era of like the weird commercials, because brands aren't making commercials for TV much anymore. I think Revlon kind of fumbled being able to switch over to social media because they were so old guard. Like, they're 90 years old. They're a 90-year-old makeup brand. Of course, it's going to be hard to kind of switch over into a completely new way of branding things, into a completely new way of marketing. I don't know about you guys, but back when I was first getting into makeup, Revlon lipsticks were like that girl. Like, Revlon lipsticks, I used to go to Target. I lived like 2 minutes away from a Target growing up. I used to go to Target and go to the like end caps that had all the like little bins of like discount lipstick that was on sale. It was unopened, but it had been on the shelf for too long. And me being like 17, and I was like, let's buy all this like $2 lipstick. So I used to have so many Revlon lipsticks just because I bought them while they were on sale. I decluttered like all of them. Like, I had so many of them. I really did like the Super Lustrous lipsticks. The Super Lustrous were a really nice formula. They had some good dupes. They had some really good dupes. This Color Burst lipstick is a dupe for MAC Girl About Town, or this Super Lustrous lipstick is a dupe for Ruby Woo. Like, there were so many dedicated blog posts and videos dedicated to Revlon dupes of MAC lipsticks. If you go back and watch old makeup YouTube, oh, it's so funny.
And a dupe for Velvet Teddy, which I think is a dupe, is Mauve It Over by Revlon. Yeah, it looks like this. And I'll just hold them up together so you can see.
So the first color I have here is Creme Brulee, and this is a really nice nude. And this is great for people who love nude lipsticks.
I mean, I definitely was able to match the color with Revlon Color Burst and Carnation, but still, this is the one lipstick that I feel like, man, you know, it's got a slight, it's like a cool pink.
Hi guys! Today I'm going to be reviewing the Revlon Color Burst Matte Bombs.
Drugstore makeup, it's interesting because you have brands like e.l.f. that are staying relevant, that are releasing products, that are working with influencers, that are working with intellectual properties. However you feel about weird intellectual property brands and collabs, it works. It really does. It sells things. And Revlon doesn't really do that. At least not that I know of. It'll be interesting to see what happens after April, if they're able to get out of bankruptcy or if they just shut the doors. Because it is unfortunate always to see a company fold when they just couldn't keep up with the market, because it means employees are losing their jobs. The last thing that I think really has affected negatively the drugstore makeup industry. How many times have I said drugstore? I swear. One of the things that always helped was when celebrities would do endorsements. They would do commercials, or they would have a kind of partnered product, like when Katy Perry came out with a lipstick, or like Emma Stone was on the branding. Like, you have all these brand ambassadors that are celebrities. But now you have people like Rihanna coming out with their own makeup line. You have people like the Kardashians coming out with their own makeup. You don't have the same kind of brand integration and sponsorship and partnership with celebrities because they're just coming out with their own brands. Why would they want to endorse a different makeup brand unless they're being paid a lot of money, which clearly Revlon didn't have? There's been a shift. There's been a huge shift in how the makeup industry is kind of structured, and kind of where the barrier of entry is. Now, it used to be such like an unattainable thing that like, oh my gosh, when you got to work with a brand, oh, it was so difficult. And now it's so easy. Like, relatively, compared to how it used to be, it's way easier to start your own brand and to sample a bunch of products and to try a bunch of products. When you have so much to choose from, you're not going to pick the stuff that's at your local CVS. If you have so many things just bombarding you in the face on Instagram and TikTok every day, you're not going to pick up the stuff off the shelf that you're also buying at the same time that you're getting deodorant and a new electric toothbrush. Like, you see the new shiny things on your phone and then you walk right by it. What are your thoughts? What are y'all's thoughts about this kind of new wave of drugstore brands and these old brands, these long-running, like, historical brands? What are your thoughts on them filing for bankruptcy or discontinuing? CoverGirl did a really great thing financially a few years back when they completely redesigned and they went completely cruelty-free, because at the time, cruelty-free, it's still important, but at the time, cruelty-free was like a huge talking point. Like, it was a huge talking point. So for them to do that, it was very smart. It was very smart. And it worked out for them in the long run because people started talking about CoverGirl again. And I don't know if Revlon has enough time to do that. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. For today's song of the day, I'm really excited. We Are Scientists, my loves, my beloved, the lights of my life. They released a new record last week called Lobes. And I'm like, they're putting out so much music. And you guys, I thought I liked the last record. I thought I liked the record before. Megaplex was the one I wasn't as big of a fan of. But like, this record, it's so good. Oh my, I've listened to it so many times in the car on the way home. When I'm at work, I love We Are Scientists. And it's so nice to have them back. But today's song of the day is Human Resources from Lobes, and oh my goodness. All the songs are on YouTube. You can listen to it now. I need to buy the record. And they came out with like tarot cards too. Like, guys, they have the coolest merch, okay? I love a band with quirky, weird merch, okay? But yeah, Human Resources from their brand new record Lobes is your song of the day. Thank you so much to Brooklinen for sponsoring today's video. Definitely go check out the link below. You guys, let me know what you think. Seriously, I love nice new sheets. It's one of the many joys of being an adult, is that you get to actually like buy nice sheets. If you would like to follow me on any of my other social media, my Instagram and my Twitter are both Abras07. My Twitch and my TikTok are Abras without the 07. And what I think I'm going to do with TikTok coming up is I'm literally just going to find some old clips of anti-hauls and re-upload them as de-influencing, because that's a thing on TikTok right now and I think it's hilarious. So if you see any videos about that specifically, please send them to me on Twitter, or tag me in them on TikTok, because I really want to know what the heck this is and how people are talking about it, because I find it very fascinating how history is repeating itself in every way. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you all in my next video.